Greetings and welcome to CMIT 350. I'm Professor K and I will be your instructor for the next 8 weeks. What we're going to do now is have a short course overview. Alright, I'm going to go over things that are pertinent, things that you need to know so that you can be successful in this course. It is imperative that you read everything that is posted in this course. I don't mind spoon feeding information out to the students, but I will not chew your food. Alright, you are expected to come into this course room and become a part of the process. And you can't do that unless you know what is posted in the course room. And in particular, we're talking about the requirements. A lot of you, many of you, have already taken this CMIT 350 and you've failed. And this can be either your second or your third time. Now the reason students fail this course is because they don't understand the requirements and they don't bring the buy-in. Number one, you cannot blow through this course and expect to pass it. It requires a lot of good time management skills because it is intense. Just the lab sim portion of this course alone is time consuming. And if you think you can go up on week 6 or 7 and you can complete all your lab sims, if you try that, you're going to get your heart broke, right? You cannot procrastinate in this course, because if you do, you will find that you're going to get behind the power curve in week 7 and week 8, and you will become frustrated because you're going to become overwhelmed. Now some students are going to rise to the occasion and they will complete this course in probably 3 or 4 weeks, and others can't complete it their third time. Unfortunately, I have been reduced probably to what I would refer to as a facilitator. I'm more of a cheerleader than I am an instructor. I can't help you with the lab sim. If you struggle with the lab sim, completing the labs, that's because you're not following the lab sim instructions. You're not comprehending what you're reading. You haven't watched the video tutorial that accompanies the lab. And you have not utilized all of your resources. If you go up to YouTube and you type in CMIT 350 test out, you will find that there are literally hundreds of posted video tutorials for every lab sim module for every test out course. So that should be a good resource for everyone. If you're struggling with the papers, again, you can go up to YouTube and you can type in CMIT 350 course project, and you will find literally dozens of videos from instructors and students on how best to complete the parts 1, 2, and 3 of the final course project. Now here's what people don't understand about this course. You cannot blow off any part of it and expect to pass with a passing grade. You need a 70% on the practice certification exam. And I don't care if you take it in week 1 or not. It's ungradable. I don't care. If you take it and you can score, above a 70 and you want to use that for your final exam score, fine. You're done with the final exam. If you don't, you can keep banging away on it until the end of the course, and hopefully you will have scored at least a 70 or better so that you can complete that part of the course. Again, every part of this course must be completed to successfully pass. I can't say it any other way. If you don't do the practice certification exam, you will not pass the course. And the same thing with the Cisco proposals, the network proposals part 1, 2, and 3. All 3 of those must be completed, and you must score at least a 70. You must also score 90% or more on each of the assigned online labs in the test out lab sim. Not the exams. At the end of the exams, I don't care about. I'm only interested in the labs, the online labs. There's labs inside the module, but there's also an end of the module exam. I don't care about that. You can go ahead and complete it. It will help you prepare for the certification exam, because all the questions come from the same pool. But I'm telling you that you've got to complete all of these requirements just to get a passing score, to meet the minimal proficiency to move on to your next course in the next session. So, your final grade will be determined based on your overall grades earned. Additional class information. You have to enroll in the Turn-In. All 3 of your papers have to be submitted to Turn-It-In, or as I call it, TII, for plagiarism checking. Alright, so make sure that you go up inside of TII and enroll, and there's the course ID. This is all on the home page. It's up in the announcements on the home page. So it gives you some information about here. We recommend that you revise your documents so that TII can score is less, so your TII score is less than 40%. They're almost giving you a 50%, which means in essence that nearly half of your paper can be plagiarized before you actually get yourself into the lava. All right, stay out of the lava, keep that score down below 40%, and you'll be good. All right, the LabSim code. All right, so if you look, please follow the test out LabSim instructions document within the project instructions module. There you'll get your code so that you can purchase the right LabSim course, right? And there's the course that you can join right there. It is case sensitive. It's sensitive. You have to type it in just like it's written. Okay. What you can use for browsers, I use Firefox. It says Firefox is not supported. What does that mean in technology terms? When they tell you something's not supported, it doesn't mean you can't use it. It just means that if you do use it and you have an issue and you call them, they won't support it. That's all it means. I wouldn't use Edge for anything, or Internet Explorer. So, I leave you with Chrome and Apple Safari. I've had a lot of problems in this lately with LabSims, especially the certification exams freezing up. So be aware that it may have something to do with the browser. Course content. You can go underneath course content and you can get an idea of exactly what's expected of you for the projects. All right. Now you got the course syllabus, which should be your go-to document for all of your grading and assignment instructions. Any questions that you have, that should be where you should go first. Project instructions. You can click on it. There's a lot of information underneath here. You got this scenario, and then you've got this steps to completion. They give you a roadmap, how to access the practice exam video, TII instructions, LabSim instructions, proposals, part 1, 2, and 3, and there's a template that you can use here. There's a submitting walkthrough video. I'll be posting additional videos and instructions as deemed necessary, but you are expected to do your due diligence and find the information that you need online, on YouTube, and using Google. Do not depend on this course or LabSim solely for your recommendations on how to build this network. You can't do that. There's just too much. And the course is too short, and it's just not enough information to cover all the requirements. So that's another thing you have to do. Now, if you click on the Cisco Network Proposal, you can go in here and you can see exactly what you have to do for parts 1, 2, and 3. There's the overview. There's some existing VLANs. And then you've got these topologies that you have to work on. All right? So make sure that you understand all this. Okay? Make sure you understand everything that you have to turn in. All right? It's very important. So you can go through here and you can see exactly what is expected of you up inside of the template. Make sure that you understand this. All right? If you have to read it a dozen times, keep reading it. What I would do is I would read it, try to absorb as much as I could, come back later and read it again. Read it 2 or 3 or 4 more times, because each time you read it, you're going to understand it a little differently each time. Hopefully by the time you read it a 4th or a 5th time, you'll have grasped exactly what it is they want you to do. So then you can proceed without having to reinvent the wheel each time. Make sure that you do understand each one of these proposals, each part. It's very important. So I'm up here inside of YouTube now, and I have typed in inside of the search bar in YouTube, I've typed in CMIT 350. And you can see all the different search criteria that you can use to find the information that you need to help you complete the different parts of the proposal. For instance, if you want to know how to complete the network proposal part 1, you can go up here and you can actually see the information being presented to you. And here's the network solution. Here's project details part 1 from another instructor. Here's some more information. It goes on and on and on. So make sure that you use this resource. Every week, sometimes twice, even 3 times a week, I will be sending out email messages. I find this is the best way for me to reach the students. So those messages that I send out may look like they're personally addressed to you, but they're not. They're sent out using a blind copy. So when I go in here and I check this box, and then I say, go ahead and create me an email, this is what I get right here. I get this. And so then I just type it in. You're only going to see your email address, nobody else's. So if I'm coming in here and I come on a little strong, I'm not talking to you personally. I'm talking to the class as a whole. And I'm making recommendations, and I'm trying to encourage students to get their coursework completed in a timely manner. Now, with that being said, the schedule. There is none. There is no course schedule. There is a recommendation for a course schedule that students can use, but as far as a schedule per se, no, you are not hard-coded to turn in anything on a certain day or a certain week of this course. You can turn in everything you need to turn in on the last day of the course and still pass with flying colors. There's no late fees. There's none of that going on. So if you want to turn in your lab sim, or you want to complete your lab sim in week 5, that's fine. I don't care. It makes me no never mind. I will not post lab sim scores until the last week of the course. And on week 8, I will go up, I will zero out the grade book, and you will know exactly what it is you got missed. If all your lab sims are completed before week 8, yes, I will give you a score. If you complete the certification exam, yes, I will give you a score. If you complete all 3 of your proposals, yes, I will give you a score. But if it's not, then there will be no score until the end of the course. What this means is you, as the adult learner, must take responsibility and bring the buy-in for your success in this course. I'm just a facilitator. I'm just a person that's going to help guide you along and make sure that you get the understanding of what you need to complete. But I'm not going to chew your food for you. That's going to be up to you. You're going to have to get with the time management and figure out when and how you're going to post. Discussions. There are none. You can post your questions up here for LabSim or whatever, and I will try to answer them to the best of my ability. If you have problems with LabSim, you can tell me about it. You can post it. Maybe one of the other students can help you out, but I'm not going to troubleshoot LabSim for you. If you have a problem with LabSim, you have a problem with the lab, and you're absolutely sure that you're not the culprit, it must be LabSim, if that's what you convinced yourself of, then you can go up and you can talk with the LabSim or the tech support people Monday through Friday, and you can hash it out with them. Don't hash it out with me, because I have no control over LabSim. It's not my product. I didn't invent it, and I'm not going to troubleshoot it. Every week there will be videos. These are just added value for the students. You're more than welcome to post a comment. You don't have to. Down here through the other sections of the course, we have connections, have student introductions. You can tell me all about yourself. I'll respond in kind. Tell me about your career goals if you want. There's no requirement that anybody post anything to any discussion, but if you want to get a discussion going, there are some topics in here that you might find of interest, and you are free to post as you see. All right, so there's the CCNA certification. So after you complete this class, will you pursue the CC certification? The key word there is pursue, not take, right? Not attempt. It says pursue. This course will only help prepare you. It is only one of many, many resources a student must have in their arsenal that's going to help prepare them for the CCNA certification. right? It's not going to make you a professional Cisco individual and then you can just sit down and take the CCNA certification. It's not designed that way, right? There's no course that you can take that I know of that will prepare you for the CCNA certification, not even a boot camp, right? You must have either the experience, and I'm talking about 5 to 7 years, or you must have prior knowledge that's going to help you pass the certification, but not just this course. This course will only help prepare you. Finding a job in the Cisco networking field, you have to be a triple threat. You're either going to have certifications, experience, and education, or you're not, right? But that's what it takes. That's what it takes. Experience, certification, and education. Packet Tracer. UMUC is a Cisco Network Academy partner. As close as you're probably going to get to an actual router or a firewall is the Cisco Packet Tracer. Okay? But the only way you can really prepare for the Cisco certification or to work in Cisco networking is to build your own network lab using physical devices, not simulators. Simulators, there's a huge disconnect between a simulator. And I'll give you an example. If I set you down and I put a router in front of you and a laptop and a console cable and I said, here, I want you to create a console session from this laptop over to this router and I want you to log in to the Cisco CLI using the password of Cisco, you're either going to do one of two things. You're either going to know how to do it or you're just going to get that 10,000 yard stare in your face and ask to go use the restroom. But I'm telling you that you cannot use the simulator to learn that. You've got to physically touch that console cable. You've got to physically find that console port. And you've got to physically put your fingers on the keyboard of a real laptop to be able to establish that terminal session with that router or that firewall or whatever that Cisco device is. I joke you not. So I'm up here on eBay. This is where you can go and you can buy yourself a Cisco Lab for not a lot of money. All right, but you got to know what you're buying. So for that, you'd have to go do some homework and find out exactly what devices are being used to create the CCNA exam and what devices you would need in your lab to be able to help prepare you for the CCNA exam. But you can go out here and you can look at it and CCNA, Cisco CCNA Lab Kit, eBay, and you can get yourself a nice little physical lab that you can actually touch for a couple $100. Okay, this one here's for $300. You can get them as cheap as $245 and still cheaper. But you got to know what you're buying, right? You don't want to buy 2501 routers. I mean, you should be buying 2600 or 2800 series routers, right? Same thing with switches. You don't want to buy 1900 series switches when you should be buying 2800 or 3500 series switches. So make sure you understand it. Also make sure that you understand what cabling you have to hook up your Cisco devices so that you can network them. So you need all the networking cable. You need all that. If you got all that, then you're good. If not, you're going to end up with a big stack of Cisco equipment and not being able to use it, and you're stuck with it. Okay, so that's about all I got for you. The important thing is that you bring the buy-in. I don't care about your laptop. I don't care about your internet connection. I don't care that you have to go use the library or the coffee shop or whatever it is to do your homework. That's your personal drama. Keep it to yourself. If you didn't bring the buy-in and if you're not prepared to actually give this course 100%, then I can't do anything for you, right? Nobody can. You can write and you can tell me that, oh, my internet's down and, oh, my laptop is too slow and I can't do this and I can't do that. And I'm going to say, hey, thanks for the update. That's what I'll tell you. I will say, thank you for the update. Much appreciated. And we'll get on with the rest of the course. So make sure you bring the buy-in, right? If you want to work Cisco, if you want to be in networking, if you want to be in technology, your Hello Kitty laptop is not going to cut it. And if you're running out of resources, that is to say that you can't load LabSim or you can't use the Cisco packet tracer, then that's a good thing, because that's telling you that you're becoming more proficient. You're becoming a multitasker, and that you're outgrowing your hardware and your software, and it's time to upgrade. So don't look at it as being a bad thing that the course is making me have to go buy a new laptop, or I got to increase my internet connection to 5 megabytes as opposed to my 56K modem dial-up. Right? Make sure that you bring the buy-in. That's the only way you're going to be successful in technology. Nobody's going to bring it for you. All right. If you have any questions or you have any concerns, go ahead and let me know about them. Post a question, send me an email. You can call me. My contact information is up inside of the course syllabus. And I will see all of you up inside of the course discussions. Till later. Bye.